Welcome, true believers, to Bad Wolf Comics. I'm your host, the Bad Wolf, and today we're going to take a look at the custom omnibus, The New Fantastic Four, featuring Spider-Man, Hulk, Wolverine, and Ghost Rider as the Fantastic Four. It's a great book, folks. Let's check it out. Welcome back, true believers, to another Bad Wolf Comics custom omnibus video. You folks voted on the Bad Wolf Comics Facebook group which one of these custom omnibus you wanted to see next. This is our winner. I did have a little hand in it because this was my vote as well. I think when people saw New Fantastic Four, they just thought it was a Fantastic Four book, so I had to reiterate, this is not your standard Fantastic Four. This is Wolverine, Hulk, Spider-Man, and Ghost Rider as the Fantastic Four. It's one of my favorite stories of the Fantastic Four because I'm really, to be honest, no offense to those that love them, I am just not, it's just not for me. Fantastic Four is not a team that I'm really into. I don't even really have any of their books. I just don't really care for that book, but I love Spider-Man, I love Wolverine, Ghost Rider and Hulk in the mix just makes it all that much better, folks. This is a great book, and it was really a passion project of mine to have done. I want to thank my good friend Franjo, if you're out there watching. Thank you for making these wonderful custom omnibus. Enough of me talking. Let's get into this book. You're really going to love it. It's a really fun ride. Let's take a look. And here we have the new Fantastic Four custom omnibus. Let's take a look at the dust jacket here. Great cover. We went back and forth on the font color a bit for the spine for the cover. I think it turned out really well. And then, of course, we have a little spine pick here. One of the covers, probably my favorite one. Just look at the back here. In classic fashion for me, I prefer all the collected covers in the back just so I can kind of, point to them or reference them if I need to later at a later date. And the Bad Wolf Comics logo was once again here. These are on all of my commissions. If I commissioned it, I put my logo on it. If it's a copy of another person's commission, like the Marvel DC crossovers, I don't bother putting my mark on there because that's not mine. That's just a copy. I just had to have it. Let's take the dust jacket off here. Take a look at the actual cover beneath. Another great shot. My boy outdid himself in this book, man. Now, this was actually a really small book. The original run was about 4 or 5 issues, and Peter David picked it up this year and continued right where the original one left off and did another 5. All right, so the construction is handmade, and these are matte pages, and they are internet scans that are blown up and printed, and then he binds them into a book. So they are oversized omnibus size. It's a standard omnibus. So if you put it next to your other regular omnibus, it's the same size. Looks right on the shelf. This particular story is about a fugitive Skrull running from the Imperial Skrull Army, whatever you want to call it. And she comes to Earth and she subdues the Fantastic Four. I'm not going to get into how she does that. You can buy these in single issues. They don't have it in any collected editions that I know of yet. I know there's no OHG or a omnibus yet, which is why I had this bound. But unbeknownst to the Skrull fugitive, after she subdues the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards had an experimental alarm that uses telepathy to reach out to the nearest heroes it can to come help them, to come save them. And that happened to be Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, Hulk, and Wolverine. Those are the guys that showed up. And I gotta say, some of the banter between these guys, Hulk and Wolverine, is great. Just the pissing contest, so to speak, between the two of them is just hilarious. They're constantly, just threatening each other through this whole thing. They're not a very good team. Spider-Man is really the guy that kind of brings the team together and kind of gets them to get a sense of being a team instead of just individuals. But they fight with the Skrulls. They fight with Mole Man and the giants of Monster Island. And basically the Skrull fugitive releases the giants of Monster Island all over the world, and they have to kind of mop it up and go find them all, bring them back to the island, and all that. Now it's a really fun story. It's a really short story though. It only really goes across about 4 issues. and then it just kind of drops off and goes on with its day. But I really enjoyed the story. It's a good fun romp with Spider-Man, Wolverine, Hulk, and Ghost Rider. You know, in classic fashion, they eventually save the day. Let's take a look through. And as you folks know, my overviews are basically just flip through so you can see the art. And I'll give a basic adaptation of the story, but we don't want to get into too much detail because you can buy these yourself in singles, and I wouldn't want to ruin the story for anybody. But this was one of my favorites back in the 90s, one of my favorite little, you know, mini-series that did really well. And the reason we have bookmarks here is my buddy Franjo, who makes these books, he came back at me, he's like, dude, this book is too thin. Because if you look at it, this is the first run right there. That's all it is. And then the second run by Peter David is right here. That's all that is. This is all filler. He wanted to add a few Fantastic Four issues to it. In hindsight, I probably would have nixed these and just done a smaller book. But I understand why you wanted to do them, to fill it out, because it would have been very, very thin. Would have been like less than an OHC. I didn't even read these pages. These, because I'm not a Fantastic Four fan. Many of you may be, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's not my cup of tea. I'm not really into the Fantastic Four. I just didn't really care for them. But this is just filler issues of the Fantastic Four. It goes on for quite some time. But the thing is, with this book, Peter David picked up this story this year and basically picked up right where this leaves off. Oh, I should say, let's get that out of here. Right where this leaves off, Peter David picks it right back up. Right here. And so this is all just filler. This is just the continuation of when this Fantastic Four issue ended. It just picked up right where that left off and just kind of went through that run there. But then we get back to the real book, which is the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, and Hulk. And this is Peter David's run, right where he picks up right where the old story left off. And this time, it's hell on earth. This is one of the reasons I wanted to use this as a Halloween book, because this is a battle with Mephisto. There's this demon in the sewers that's secretly converting the town and getting everyone sent to hell, basically. So once again, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Hulk they're still here because it's not like they split and went their separate ways and years later came back. From this point of view, it actually picked up right where the other one left off. They were still hanging out. But in this, they find a priest that doesn't know he has powers. He basically wishes for things and they just happen. So he's like, man, I wish I wasn't here, and he's not here. He's teleported across the world. Peter David did a really good job. Just do a little flip here. Can I get this page? What's going on here? There we go. But yeah, some great art. Here's our cover again. Looks really good. And with my luck, the way things go, Marvel will probably solicit an OHG of this. Honestly, they probably won't. Which is why I selected this book to be bound, because I don't think that Marvel's ever going to do this. I could be wrong. I wish I was wrong, because I actually prefer legitimate solicits over customs. One, they're ridiculously cheaper. They're significantly cheaper to get than a custom, because these customs cost me on average about $200 a book to have solicited. So it's definitely cheaper to go ahead and get an official Omni if they release them. It's just sometimes they don't, and I don't collect single issues anymore. I only collect hardcovers, so this is where we end up. Now, once again, as always, I like to say to folks on these, as a little disclaimer here, I don't make any money off of these. I don't sell these. I don't solicit these. These are a friend of mine that does these binds. I can't share the information because he's just one guy and he's only doing solicits or commissions for a very select group of people. This will probably be one of the last ones that I do for a while because they just got so expensive I just can't afford them anymore. But yeah, great guy. He does a lot of great work. I really love everything he does. I love seeing all the new stuff that he has on his page all the time, but I just can't afford them anymore, man. They're just too expensive, and he puts a lot of time and effort into these, and the materials just go up and up. So, he's got to make his end, and I understand. But yeah, this is a great run, man. I highly suggest it, especially if you folks are into singles, man. Go check out Peter David's run of this new Fantastic Four. And here we're going to get our pinup galleries and our extras. Through here. So they're pinup. Yeah, it's Fantastic Four has just never hit it for me. It's just never really done it for me. I've gotten into it a little bit, but then I don't know. It's just not for me. Extra stuff here. So yeah, he got a lot of good extras in here. Oh, there's their wedding. Great shot. Love that one. Just get a last few here. Yeah, I remember here was a second printing when that came out. They were really big on doing gold covers back in the 90s for second printings, but this is one story that I loved, Fantastic Four. It was one of my favorites from back in the 90s. And that is it. So check it out, folks. But that, as they say, is that. Well, folks, that was our overview of the Custom Omnibus New Fantastic Four. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, I buy 99% of my standard books at Organic Price Books. For those of you that shop at Organic Price Books, don't forget to use the code BADWOLF during checkout for $2 off your order. But stick around, true believers. Bad Wolf Comics has much more in store this Halloween season. At the end of the month, we're going to have our Halloween haul, and most likely we'll do a recommended Halloween reading. With that said, I am the Bad Wolf. This is Bad Wolf Comics. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.